Thanks to them, the USA is now the global superpower.
Binary Domain gestures at some big ideas, but is not itself about them. It is about robots and the exploding of them. You are a wisecracking American, nicknamed the Survivor, part of a multi-ethnic squad investigating an apparent violation of international law, robots that appear human.
We call them hollow children.
The profundities of that premise are presented, sometimes at length, but not set up or explored that well.
This is philosophical bullshit.
It's tempting to see this as simply a competent third-person shooter, maybe even imitative. You will yell at a small squad. You will insert bullets into enemies from behind cover. You will have a burly, enthusiastic partner.
Ni hao.
Yes! In your face!
The opening is so crammed with digital flourish and jingoism, you half expect Captain Price to show up.
Rendezvous with the other national squads and head for Omedetou.
But around the time a vending machine full of guns and explosives cheerfully exclaims and spits out a box of ammo or a med kit, it starts to come together. Oh, they're in on it.
You're just an old-school Yakuza crook, aren't you?
Team Yakuza has baked into this game an amount of satire, and the fact that it's sometimes hard to tell what is caricature and what is sincere says more about this genre than this particular game.
We're a God-fearing country, Mr. Bergen, and only he may create life.
Yet, there is enough game here to stand on its own. Opponents can be disarmed, get it? Immobilized by shooting their legs out, and even turned against each other with headshots.
They can't tell friend from foe after a solid headshot.
There is variability in weapon upgrades, ability-boosting nanomachines, and trust level with squad mates, which rises and falls based on your performance in combat and conversation.
Thanks, brother, but you don't have to get all soft on me.
Disloyal squad mates are likely to ignore your commands, or worse.
Damn, it's right, I almost shot you.
Cutscenes are strikingly well directed, with some crafty transitions between scripted and controllable action. It even manages tolerable QuickTime events, still contrived, but at least infrequent, and consistent with what you expect each button to do. Well, besides these. What am I, kicking a field goal or something?
Do people actually like crap like that?
Bosses are well thought out, and are given room to develop over several sections of a level. Though each is essentially shoot the glowing thing, the mid-fight shifts in tactics and attitude keep each fight interesting and lend these enormous foes a sense of life and capability, but mostly anger. Highly explosive, phase-shifted anger. This shooter, just like the market leaders, is pretty easy on default difficulty, but it's also about 8 hours of robot blasting fun, with touches of cleverness you may not expect.
This is great! Totally worth it!
However, it's not without shortcomings.
Something stinks. Is it you?
You can use a mic to relay commands or dialogue options, which is yet another interesting thought Binary Domain doesn't extend far enough to reach the point of significance.
How about you, Dan? You like to read?
Squad mates are pretty talkative, which helps to characterize them, but lines are repeated fairly often. Trust levels do cause minor variations in plot, but as with the upgrades, lacks meaningful choice because of a lack of impactful consequence. Allies are generally useless in combat, serving as walking tooltips.
Dan, take out the field tank!
Dan, get that shutter open.
Now then, shoot it down!
And extra medkit storage, but they seem to jump in front of your bullets more often than they fire their own.
I missed! Sorry about that.
It also appears that the camera shifts when you peek around cover, but the number crunching behind the scenes doesn't take it into account. For all its moments of ineptitude, Binary Domain is as lovably indelicate as its characters. Just alive enough to care about, and so swaggeringly energetic, you can't help but be on their side.